I'm a little... Because the Celtics and Heat are playing game 1 right now.
For a report on this club's outlook heading into Game 4.
50 home runs definitely in play. 100 runs scored probably in play.
Leading off for the Diamondbacks.
Sixth about to get started.
The designated
and
hitter.
Digging in is the veteran DH, Stephen Vogt. And right into the shift.
Starting pitching being insane all postseason. Definitely in play.
And a leaping effort, but it's off his glove.
Hey, we'll take those.
And they'll have no play as he reaches first base safely.
Absolutely take
Up
those.
next for the Diamondbacks.
Hey, sometimes you just
The
got to
catcher,
tip your cap right
Carson
there. You execute a
Kelly.
nice pitch down in the zone, think you're going to get a ground ball or a swing and a miss, and you find yourself with a man on
Gotta
first.
straighten that out,
Gotta be
Carson.
great.
He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far.
There you go.
Shot to left field
Straightened it out.
and
That one's
deep.
going to stay fair.
Look at this. And out of here. And I mean by plenty. That ball was crushed.
Love
Hey, in
to see it.
today's game of extreme velocity, if you
Carson
have
Kelly not getting as
mediocre
many
stuff,
at-bats,
you
only
cannot
getting
miss
starts
over
against
the heart of the plate.
American League
You have
teams
to
or
nibble at
starting
the
pitchers
corners.
that were
He wasn't
lefties.
able to
So
do
a
that,
lot of
and he
righties
paid
in
the
front, so
ultimate
Stephen Vogt got
price.
the starts. But putting those at-bats to good
Now
use.
batting. Second
At the
base.
plate now, Tim
Tim.
LeCastro.
LeCastro.
As he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. He's working on a 1 for 2 game so far.
Celtics had like a 10-point lead when I turned the game on with like 4 minutes left. Now it's going to OT.
Popped him up.
Come on, dude.
Smith is under it. And that's the first out of the inning.
Oh, excuse me. Also,
Now
Game
batting.
7 of the
Left
So-
field.
Clippers Nuggets is tonight. There's a person at the front of my garage. What the hell? No, there isn't. Someone's in my bathroom.
Stepping in, David
David
Peralta. He came through with an
Peralta.
RBI
D-train.
single in his last at-bat. This is on the
Oh,
ground
that's,
over
ain't,
to
that's not
first.
the D-train there.
And the
He's out.
off-balance throw gets him. Nice play for the out.
Question on everyone's
The
mind.
center
Does
fielder,
Cattell have an
number
RBI?
4.
So
I mean, he's got a
2 away for
triple,
the
so
D-backs
maybe.
here in the sixth.
Marte.
I have no
Bring
way
up
of
the
knowing.
infielder Cattell Marte. This is pulled into right. A dive, but it's off his glove. The throw into second. But he'll be in there.
Cattell is going to get another at-bat. Because it's
Hey,
only the
this
6th.
guy's having a
Now
big
batting.
series in
So
the
he's got a
postseason.
chance to
It
recycle
looks like
now.
to me that
Cole.
the
Got a single
moment
double
isn't
and
too
triple by the
big
looks
for
of
him.
it.
He's slowing the game down. He looks terrific.
Yeah, absolutely. Postseason monster right here, having a huge series. Any big leaguer can have their moment mid-May, but to do it when it gets cold outside means everything.
He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far.
Attaboy,
Pulls this
Cole.
one high and deep to right center field. See you later. Over the wall, a home run.
50 and
Another
100 is
excellent
definitely in
swing
play.
right there. That's multiple
Your
home
attention,
runs in
please.
the same inning.
Now
Watch
pitching
yourself.
I just want one
Slow
no-doubter with
hard
Eduardo
to play.
Escobar
Number
batting as
21.
righty. I don't know what his
Cody.
no-doubter
Pitch
looks
here,
like
and he'll
as
try to
righty.
sort this mess
Three.
out. He's going to try to at least eat a couple of innings for his guys.
I
Fouled
clearly
off.
cannot hit as
1
good with
for
him as
2
right-handed
in the
hitter.
ball game thus far.
I mean, he's pretty balanced. Like, he's almost entirely identical between righty and lefty, so I just can't do it, though. Like, if that's a pitch he gets as a lefty against a
Margot's
right-handed
under it.
pitcher, that's in the seats 9-0. Thanks for coming.
Makes the catch, and that'll retire
So I don't
the side.
understand it, but it is what it is.
Leading off for the Rays.
Let's sit these guys down.
The center fielder, Madwell. Margot.
Doolittle and Presley.
Here's the first pitch to him. Got him to go after that
No
one,
ball.
and he's in a
He's
quick
straight.
hold, 0-2.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his windup. I don't know if
Swing, high
There goes the
drive,
shutout.
left field and deep. And a climbing attempt at the wall, but this ball is gone.
I will be absolutely shocked if I
Yeah,
can
they
ever
have
rob a
everything
home
to
run
lose in this game, but it's obvious
Now
that
batting.
they have
Press
zero
stop.
equipment.
Willie.
They're going to battle
Lopez.
until the
I'm
last
actually gonna
out.
bring in
With
Yohan
that
Lopez
homer,
now for
they're
that.
that
Ladies
much
and
closer
gentlemen,
to
your
prolonging the
attention,
series.
please. Now
So that's my
pitching for
worst
Arizona,
outing by a
one
starting
strike,
pitcher
number
out of the
50.
dugout on his
postseason.
way to the mound.
And
And
if
we're
that's
gonna
the
see a
case,
pitching
like, that's
change,
fine.
as that's gonna do
One
it
run
for
through
his
5
starter
innings,
here tonight.
threw to one batter in the 6th.
So the good news is he'll wind up going the requisite 5 innings for the victory, but he does leave his bullpen some considerable work to do
Now
before this
batting.
one's done.
The right
So it's a
fielder.
backwards K on the
Off
changeup
there.
that time. Willie Adames
Meadow.
is dealt
Get
with
more guys,
for the
more
first
innings
out in
before
the
the,
bottom of the inning.
everything's all
Ready
said
with
and
the
done
0-2.
here.
And he strikes him
Give
out
Yohan a
as
chance to
well. So make it
Get that 9
back-to-back
ERA,
punch-outs here
cut
to the
down a
first 2
solid
innings.
chunk here. He's going to go down to the 7s, I believe.
He
No,
faces
5
out
of the
batting.
bullpen.
Goes down 4.5.
Number
He gets us out.
Hit in the air to straightaway center.
I'll have to check that next
Marte
inning before I pull
is going
him.
to have room out there as he puts this 7th inning ready to roll. And next
Leading
to
off
bat will
for
be the
Arizona,
first baseman,
the
Christian
first baseman,
Walker.
Christian Walker.
It's a
Oh,
high
you gotta
fly
straighten that
ball
out,
headed
Christian.
for the left field corner. If it stays fair, it's gone. Nearly a big fly inning instead of
It's like
foul
Cattell,
ball.
who's a much better hitter against left-handed pitching. I can't don't doubt her with him either. I just realized
This
that.
is hit high in the air out toward left center.
I straightened it out,
Heading
but it
after
wasn't
it
as
is
deep and he didn't
Margot.
even get a hit,
He's
so.
there and records the first out.
Speaking of Cattell, let's just do this to see if he has an RBI. He doesn't. Okay.
Now
Coming to
batting.
the plate now,
Shortstop.
Nick Ahmed. It
Nick.
was a fly out.
So
for
a home
him
run
in
gets
his
in the
last
cycle,
trip. First pitch of the at-bat
and an
on its
RBI
way.
at that. He is going to be due up in the 9th right now. Yeah, he's due up in the 9th as of now.
The windup and the 0-1. Popped him up.
Damn it. Wow, that was a good pitch to hit, too.
Adames is underneath this one.
Can't be fucking
And that's
those
out
up.
number 2.
Okay. So, like I said, I might bump that home run benchmark that I want from 50 to
Getting ready for
75.
another shot.
Steven
I'm
Stephen
thinking
Vogt
75
with
home runs for
prior
the postseason
history
might be in play
versus
as
this
well,
arm.
though.
Just a couple of matchups, no hits in 2 at-bats.
Wow.
Pulls this one into the air,
Got
out
Michael
into
Jackson
right
out there in right field,
And
the way he's like
Meadows makes the
moonwalking,
catch
sliding
for
around.
round number 3.
Alright. So what did Yohan's ERA go down to?
Bottom of the
4.5.
inning
Yeah,
now.
that's a lot.
leading
That'll
off
bring
for
up
the
the
Rays,
outfielder, Hunter
The
Renfroe.
left fielder.
It doesn't look
Hunter.
very promising so far. This one is
Renfroe.
For the
moved
seventh.
into the later
Your
innings,
attention, please.
down by a
Now
bundle.
pitching
It's
for
time to
the
get some
Diamondbacks.
base runners and hopefully a
Number
long ball to
63,
get them back into this one.
John.
Sean Doolittle gets the
Doolittle.
call from the pen to take over on.
Oh, actually, really quick, too, I want to check on this Celtics Heat game. Heat are up 1 with 1:27 to go. And Kemba looks bewildered by something.
39 minutes. More because Duncan Robinson has not been on the floor, but boy, he's earned the closing minutes. And Jaylen Brown, this game would have felt a heck of a lot different with Miami in command if he doesn't get that offensive rebound putback.
That's a big poke back right there. Alright, cool, we took a timeout.
The mound and start the home 7th. A pause and the 0-2. Here's a swing and a high pop-up. Drifting toward the third base dugout. There to haul it in is Escobar, and that's the
I feel like I'm going to see a lot of low ERAs, too, for that matter, because I think...
The batter.
I know, I'm almost
The designated
positive
hitter.
Zach Gallen had 3
Michael.
shutouts.
Good swing, just gotta try
And a
straighten
lot
that
of
one out.
games, we didn't give up any
0-1,
runs.
here it comes.
I know we obviously
Boy,
gave
a
up more than
perfect
just this one
split
run,
splitter
but like...
there, it's 0-2. Got
Been a
him
lot
with
of
good
that.
Slider there,
Gonna be a lot of
swung on and
strikeouts this
missed
run.
as he's down on
I might look
strikes
for 100
the second time
strikeouts.
tonight.
Now
Actually,
batting.
usually 100
Third
strikeouts is
baseman.
easy to get with my starters.
Oh,
Usually
no,
3
2.
guys.
Is in with 2 away
I
here
have
as
2
he
guys in the
swung
30s,
on
usually a
and
guy in
missed
like
for
the
first strike.
40s.
And he gets him to swing through
So
that
that would
one.
be
He's in
100 right there
control,
on their
0-2.
backs alone.
Fouled away.
So, I'll gauge it. I'll see how many strikeouts I have with this one. This feels like a really
Struck
good
him
one.
out. Struck him out again, I should say. His
Whoa, my surround sound
standing
was
in,
fucking me for a
Carson
second.
Kelly. And to start out the inning, it
Leading
looks
off
like
for
they
Arizona,
decided
sticking
to
with
stick
Cody
with
Reed.
the same reliever out there,
Carson
Dan.
They have
Kelly.
met. I think the way he pitched the last inning kind of
Oh,
inspired
Carson.
that. But it's not uncommon for relief
Gotta
pitchers
pull those hands
to
in
have
and put it over
troubles
the
after
wall.
They sit and watch their guys swing the bat a bit. We'll see. if
Pissed
he
they're
stays
sticking with
as
the
sharp
lefty.
as
That
he
means
was
Peralta's
before.
not going to have a good
Renfroe
at-bat.
is there.
Now batting.
One pitch, one
The
out.
second baseman.
Ready
Tim
for another chance. Tim
LeCastro.
LeCastro. He's got a hit in 3
Come on,
at-bats to
Timmy.
this point. And he fouls this one off.
Castro had a solid LDS run, I believe, or was it LCS? I don't know. He had a really solid
It's on
outing
the
in one of them,
way.
but he has really fallen flat since whichever that was.
And he takes a big swing at that one as this one's lifted high in the air and deep.
Oh,
out to
Tim
left field.
LeCastro, one more time, baby!
And it's gone as they add still another.
Atta boy.
Hey, every once in a while, these speed guy will jump up and bite one. He absolutely crushed that
Love that
baseball.
for him.
Doesn't fit
They're
his
still
usual
sticking with
tool
him, though. That's
description.
such
But he
bullshit.
can
Now
go
batting.
deep if you leave
Left
one over the
fielder.
harder to plate.
David.
So now to the plate,
Peralta.
David Peralta. And he'll promptly send
I already
it in the
know,
air out
okay,
to
now with the
center
base empty
field.
and 2 outs,
In
Catel's not
comes
going to get an
Margot.
RBI,
He
because I
gets
can't go
there and
deep
makes
against
the
right-handed
play for
pitching
the
with him for
second
some
out of the
reason.
inning.
The center fielder.
Yeah, he needs a
Digging in
dinger for the
switch
cycle.
hitter,
Cattell
Cattell Marte. He came across
Marte.
to score after doubling in his last at-bat.
Yeah, it's been an offensive explosion for him today. There's a fight at
I
the
didn't
bat
say it.
rack.
I didn't say Cattell
Everyone
doesn't have an
seems to be
RBI.
putting
Fuck
barrel
me.
on baseball
Whatever.
in this lineup.
And this is going to be his
We'll take 3
fourth
extra
hit of
base
the
hits,
game,
though.
as this should wind up as extra bases. And he'll
2
pull
doubles, a
into
triple, a
second
single.
with his 4th hit of the ball game.
Now batting.
They're sticking with the
Right
lefty. They don't
Yeah,
give a
some
fuck.
guys have the ability to
Now,
rise
He's
to
been
the
getting
occasion, while
battered a
some
little
guys
bit now.
shrink away when
LeCastro
it
took him
matters the
deep, for
most.
God's
Well,
sake.
This guy,
Here's a fly ball, well hit. Meadows moving back.
Come on, ball.
Still ranging.
Yeah, that's what you get for keeping him in. Cole and more time as well.
Your
John
attention,
Run up those
please.
stats.
There's now in a mop-up
pitching
role
for
as
the
he'll try to
Rays.
keep the
This is John
deficit
Curtis.
right
Number
where it is.
84. John.
Eduardo
Curtis.
Escobar standing in as he lines it
Ooh.
hard to the right side but out of play.
Get that
He's
up and get
working on
that
a
fair,
1
and
for 3
we've got
thus
back-to-back
far.
jacks.
Into the windup, here comes the 0-1.
Oh, fuck me.
Lined but speared on a hop. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired.
All right.
Bottom of inning number 8
Presley
set
up
to
along
go.
with
And
Rondon
next
as
to
well.
hit is
Rondon
the
Rondon
catcher,
getting the
Rays.
final
Smith.
3 outs.
The catcher.
Here's the pitch.
He earned it in the regular
And
season for
it's
sure.
fouled away.
Miss.
And it's quickly 0-2. Nothing in 2 count, and the pitch.
Okay, I'm gonna take a second. Celtics Heat again. Very nervous to check this. I feel like the Heat are gonna win. Celtics up by 1 with 23.2 left on the clock. Oh God. Denver and LA, that's gonna be a huge game. I got my money. Well, I don't bet, but my money would be on LA. Did Kemba fall out or something? He's no longer in the game. They're probably just going to sit him if he didn't fall. I don't think he fouled out. I think 23.2 left in Miami. They both have a timeout, so. Man, imagine if, I mean, this is a home game for us. Imagine if this were actually in the Garden right now. Oh God, you got to stay on Jimmy Butler as tight as you can. He's going to make a game-winning shot if you don't. He's going to take it down to the last second. Here he goes. Yep, and 1. From down 1 to up 2. It's every fucking time. Oh my God. Turning the game off.
Hey, have an AB right here. I know it's frustrating the heck out of the pitcher. You keep fouling these pitches off. Maybe one misses over
I
the
would
heart
not
of
have
the
put
plate.
Tatum on him.
Here
You
comes
need
another
Marcus
0-2.
Smart on him. He's clearly
And
the
he
best
got him.
defender.
Now batting. The first
Coming to
baseman.
the plate now, G-Man
G-Man
Choi.
Choi.
He comes in 0 for 2 thus far. comes the first pitch.
Hey!
Like that. That's a pitch right there he'd like to have back. He'd love to swing at that one again.
Fielded cleanly. And he'll whip
Nice
this
play by
one
Presley to
over
get
first,
over
and
there.
he gets his man for the second out.
The center fielder.
I can't believe of all people that fucking hit a home run off me, it was Manuel Margot.
Oh.
It was off Caleb Smith, though. How's the numbers against the lefties? His power is 43 against lefties, and he took Caleb Smith yard. I'm pissed.
Right now.
Should keep a shutout right now, but whatever.
Looking to put him
Yeah,
away.
Yohan Lopez another ring because of it.
Right down Main Street, caught him looking.
All right, last at bats of the season right here.
Digging in once again.
Leading
Christian
off for
Walker
Arizona.
will start
We
things
add
off
on
in the
anymore.
top of the ninth as they look for a little insurance.
Walker.
Well, and he gets the inning started with a bang as this is hit high and
He
deep to
can.
left field. And it's gone
Tack
as
on
they
another.
add still another.
And the home runs
These
and the
guys
runs.
are really
Love it.
putting on a show here. That dinger brings the total up to 5 for the game so far. Amazing stuff today, guys.
Up next for the Diamondbacks.
How about this,
The
D-Roll? If you come
shortstop.
to watch offense,
This
Ahmed.
one also hit deep
Come
to
on,
left
come on,
field.
come on. Yes,
And
let's go.
this
Back
one
to
is
back.
gone. A home run.
Christian Walker, Nick Ahmed, they said we want one more each.
Ladies and
Ryan
gentlemen,
Thompson
your
comes on to
attention
pitch
please.
now,
Fine by
hoping
me.
for better results than
pitching
the
for the
other
Rays.
arms that they've run out
Number
there in this
81.
one. Into the box
Ryan.
now.
Oh, that was a
Stephen
slow
Vogt.
slider.
Top
And on the
guy.
first pitch,
Not
he
expecting
grounds
78.
foul. It was a fly out for him in his last trip.
Come on, Vogie.
A swing and a shot hit down the
missed that
corner.
one.
And that's going to wind up hooking just a bit foul. So
Watch
a
now
missed
that I'm more mentally
opportunity
geared
there.
for a 79 slider, it's going to be like a 97 fastball.
There's a swing and a high deep drive headed for the right field
Come on,
corner.
I'm killing myself right now.
And this will wind
Not
up being
literally,
nothing
don't
more
worry.
than a long foul ball, and it'll
Just,
hold
you
the
know,
count
so
at
if you're
0-2.
killing me, I'm killing
Got to
you.
take advantage of that pitch right there.
Stay fair.
Swings
Stay
and
fair.
Brushes it. Oh my!
Let's
there
go.
is no doubt
3 in a
about
row.
this
Thank
one.
God.
And they've done
Finally
it
straightened it
again.
out.
Back to back to back home runs.
Well, this
That
is
wasn't
amazing
slider,
right here.
was it?
3 home runs in a row.
So you can't.
I've actually been a part of
Now
a
I
similar
need
one more hit.
situation
One more home
sandwiched
run or
in
something,
between
and Catel's got another
Rafael
at bat.
and Gary Sheffield back in the early
Let's go. 4 in a row. Catel's going to have an
There
at
it
bat.
goes. Forget. This is going to be back to back to back to back home runs.
I said, can we add on any more? These guys said, hold our bats. 4 in a row to start the inning. You know LaCastro doesn't have another one in it.
Up
There's
next for the
absolutely no
Diamondbacks.
way. But I'm fine
Standing
because
in now
Catel's got
for
another at
Tim
bat now.
LaCastro.
Tim
Swing and
LaCastro.
lift the ball foul.
I'll tell you what, if I
off the
sat
left
on
and out
that
of play.
pitch, we would have had more of a chance.
Pulled high in the air out to left field.
Let me really quick just make sure the game ended. Oop, wrong button.
Whatever was left, Doris. That was a fantastic play by Tatum just to get it off.
Jason.
With a big-time rejection.
Oh my God.
Tatum makes the catch.
No foul?
Time online, but no. What a finish.
Some bullshit. Whatever. Okay. What's the notification I have? Nothing important.
Renfro is there, and he makes the catch for the out.
Alright, D-Train, I
Up
got
next for the
58.
Diamondbacks.
Take the
Okay,
ball
it's still
now
alright.
is the
The
new
left fielder.
pitcher.
David.
So coming to the plate.
Come
on,
Dick
D-Train,
Peralta.
I just need
It
a
was
hit.
a fly out for him in his last trip. Is swung on and driven out to right center field. A ball that's well hit.
think Margot's
Margot's
got it.
going back. He
Oh, nope.
leaves his feet, but it's off the wall. He hit the corner and tries for third.
Oh, that's a huge triple, D-Train.
And they'll keep it going
That
here
almost,
as
that
he's
almost,
into
knock on
third
wood,
base with a
guarantees
triple.
Cattell will have an RBI. Almost.
No,
The
you
center
can't fault
fielder,
the center
number
fielder's efforts there.
That's exactly
Cattell
right, because
tried to
Cattell
track it
does
down,
not have an
but I
RBI
don't
this
think
game,
he
and I
had
don't
much
like
of a
that.
chance to get there. His teammates will eventually help him out, but by that time, he's
There it
safely
is.
at third.
Catch is made. Here comes the runner from third. Oh, but it's offline. So
I think I'm gonna double check, but I think that means Cattell had an RBI in every single game this postseason.
Cole Calhoun, as he'll look to follow up the 2-run homer he launched over the wall last time, fouled off. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Lifted out towards straightaway center field. And that'll get down out there near the wall.
Do I send him for 3? I'm going to.
Digging hard. He's headed for third. And now Gracious just getting the ball back into the infield.
He would have been in there without the throwing error, but he would not have made it all
Now
there.
third baseman.
So they credit that a triple or an error. Ooh, they do have an error. That's bullshit. They didn't give him the triple.
Eduardo
They gave him a double and an error.
So here's Eduardo Escobar.
Fuck,
Pulled
just missed
high
that
in
one.
the air out to right field.
Whatever.
Meadows is
Get
there,
ourselves a
and he puts it
crown
away to
in the
stop
deserts for the Snakes.
So next to the plate for
Oops,
Tampa
wrong
Bay,
one.
Willie Adames
Leading
will be
off
the
for
first
the
to bat
Reds.
here in the inning with his guys
The
in need of
shortstop,
some ninth-inning
Willie
magic if they're going to force a
Adames.
Game 5.
Your attention, please.
Hector Rondon.
Now pitching.
takes
Hector
the ball now in
Rondon
inning number
was
9,
nothing
looking to close
short
the
of
door.
amazing.
Hector.
He was unbelievable in the regular
This catches
season.
the zone as well.
At
It's
least
0-2
until the
now.
last month. I
Your
have to
idea
start
of
saying
working
that
the
now
count goes
because
out the
I can
window.
have a
You're
guy, a
frustrated
closer.
right now, down 0-2.
For
Gotta find a
example,
way to grind.
When was the last
So
time
we
I
got
saw
him
him?
looking
God, that
there.
was so long.
Willie Adames is sent
Now
packing
batting,
for the
right
first
fielder.
out in the bottom
I
of
don't
the
know,
order.
but for I guess I'll just
Meadows.
use Rondon for example. I don't know what his
One
regular
gone here as he
season
looks
numbers
at a
were,
called
but he
strike
had a
one.
sub-1 ERA for a long time. I've had guys
Swing
with
and a miss on the
ERAs, I'm
slider.
talking like
Quickly behind,
0.42, like absolutely filthy ERAs, all the way up until September,
Bouncer to the left
and
side.
then I don't play, like, because at that
And
point
the
we're already clinched the
off-balance
division,
throw
best
beats
record,
him
all
at
that.
first,
And
that's a
as it
tough
is, I
play.
don't use my closer to begin with because all the games
The
I
bat.
play
Here's the
Number
are
Brendan Lau. And their season
mostly
hangs
non-save
in the
situations.
balance here
So
as
it's
they're
not like my
down to their
influence
final
with
out.
them is making their ERA that low. It's the computer. All of a sudden, September rolls
Here's the
around, and then
first
they
pitch.
finish the season with an ERA that's like around 3.
Good
No
fastball
ball.
as he gets
One
the
Like,
strike.
dude,
swing
you
and
had a
miss.
sub
This guy loves
0.5
to
ERA.
drop
It
the
was a
head
0.
on those
I had a
pitches down and in.
0.32, I think,
I'm
was the
shocked
lowest.
he went in there, but he's
And it
able
ended up
to jump
finishing the
ahead and
season
get
with like a
away with it.
2.8.
Two
And
out,
that was in like
nobody
late
on.
August.
Struck him
That'll
out,
do
and
it.
it's over. They are World Series champions.
Wow, World Series champions. The only thing that could have made this sweeter would have been doing it in front of the home crowd. But hey, they're not complaining, believe me. Now they can look forward to celebrating during the parade as they bring the World Series trophy home. What a moment for this team, this organization, and that city.
Back now on the show. More reactions now to this series clinching victory. And down on the field, we'll get a chance to watch the presentation of the Commissioner's Trophy to the new world champs.
Alright, so finally done with the Arizona round. It took me a while. A lot longer than usual. I'm not running out of steam. Things been coming up. It's been a busy time starting back at work. First day with the students today. Record of 128 and 34. A plus grade, unbelievable. Green line, lot of good shit. Looks like our longest winning streak stretch was just before game 80 and then ending just before game 100. It looks like. Maybe from just before game 60 to about game probably 75. Maybe, I don't know. We'll take a look at that. Ended up getting our team rating up to 10th, ranked the 10th overall team. 10th in contact, 17th in power, 6th pitching, 14th defense, 4th in speed. 14th in speed. Player boost for Eduardo Escobar, Zach Gallen, Ketel Marte, Alek Manoah, Caleb Smith, Alex Young, Tim LeCastro. So that's 7, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. All of these were pretty much on the team. The only one that wasn't was Alek Manoah, traded for him from the Blue Jays. Caleb Smith was a call-up. I believe Alex Young was as well. One of those two was a call-up. And then the other one was just like a no-hit opportunity that I ended up doing well with. Stats, starting with pitchers in the postseason. I'm going to do this by innings pitched, and I actually feel bad because I did not use Taylor Clark, and I meant to. Junior Guerra pitched 1 inning and 1 appearance, walked nobody, struck out 2, didn't give up any hits, any runs, or anything like that. ERA 0, whip 0. Stephon Crichton pitched 1 inning and 1 appearance, walked nobody, struck out 2. Gave up no hits, no runs, no walks, no nothing. ERA 0, whip 0. Matt Grace pitched an inning and 1 appearance, walked nobody, struck out 2. Got a hold. He recorded a hold, but didn't give up any hits, runs, or anything like that. So ERA 0, whip 0. Yohan Lopez pitched 2 innings across 2 appearances, walked nobody, struck out 4. Got himself a hold as well. Recorded doesn't sound right to me. He gave up a hit, which was a home run, so a solo shot, making his ERA 4.5 and his whip 0.5. Sean Doolittle pitched 2 innings across 2 appearances, walked nobody, struck out 4. Got 2 holds, no hits, no runs, ERA 0, whip 0. Alex Young pitched 2 innings out of the bullpen across 1 appearance. He walked nobody, struck out 4. No hits, no runs, no nothing. ERA 0, whip 0. Ryan Presley pitched 3 innings across 3 appearances. Walked nobody, struck out 7 out of the 9 he faced. Got himself a hold and gave up no hits. ERA 0, whip 0. Hector Rondon, my closer, pitched 3 innings across 3 appearances. Got himself a save. Walked nobody, struck out 8 of the 9 he faced. And gave up nothing. No hits, no runs, no nothing. ERA 0, whip 0. Caleb Smith had 2 starts. In his 2 starts, he went 2-0. 14 innings pitched. He walked nobody. He struck out 22. One of his starts was a quality start, a complete game shutout. His other start was when I pulled him in the 6th of Game 4 just now. He gave up 11 hits, only 1 run on the solo shot to Manuel Margot, so his ERA was 0.64 and his whip was 0.79. Alek Manoah had 3 starts. In his 3 starts, he went 3-0. He pitched 20 innings altogether. He walked 2. He struck out 28. All 3 of his starts were quality starts. He gave up 9 hits, 4 runs on 2 home runs, so 1.80 ERA and a 0.55 whip. Luke Weaver had 3 starts. In his 3 starts, he went 3-0. He pitched 23 innings. He walked 2. He struck out 35. All 3 of his starts were quality starts, including a complete game shutout. Only gave up 4 hits, no runs. So in 23 innings, his ERA was 0, his whip was 0.26. That's, how many hits to give up? 4? That's 1 hit per start and then 1 extra hit somewhere in there. And then Zach Gallen was an absolute masterpiece. I mean, unbelievable. Probably the greatest postseason run of all time by a starting pitcher in 1 season. Zach Gallen had 3 starts. He went 3-0 in his 3 starts. He pitched 27 innings, walked nobody, struck out 45. In his 3 starts, they were all quality starts. They were all complete games. They were all shutouts. He gave up 11 hits across 3 games, so that's just under 4 hits a game. No runs, though. So an ERA of 0 and a whip of 0.41. That's unfucking believable. That is insane. The most strikeouts in a single postseason is 56 by Curt Schilling in 01 with the Diamondbacks. But he did that in I want to say 46 innings. Something like that. It was a lot more than 27. It was certainly over 40, I know that much. If Zach Gallen pitched another 13 innings at this rate, it's 45. 45 is divisible by 3. That's 15 a game. So if he pitched another game which would another 9 innings, I should say. If he pitched another 9 innings, he would have had 60 strikeouts, and he still would have been at 36. I think he would have had to pitch at least another 9 innings on top of that, which again at this average would have gotten him to 75, still under the innings that Schilling did it. I think another 9 from there would put him at 54, and that's close. I'm not going to look it up, but that's close to what Schilling did, which would put him at 90 strikeouts. 90. That's fucked. That's insane. I love that, though. That's why I'm playing on beginner. I want to see shit like that. Alright. And then we'll do the offense in the postseason. Dalton Varsho, Jake Lamb, and John Jay, none of them had an at-bat. And by God, I've had this OCD thing now where I want every I'm not counting starting pitching, but every position player to take an at-bat, whether you're starting, platooning, or pinch hitting. If you have even one at-bat in the postseason, I want you to have at least one home run, one hit, one RBI. Andy Young, I pinch hit him once. One time. He had one at-bat, and he had one hit, a solo, one home run, one RBI, one run scored, batting average 1,000, slugging percentage 4,000, OPS 5,000. He had one at-bat, and I would have had to have gone to him again if he did not hit a home run there. It would have bothered the fuck out of me. But I brought him in once for some reason. I don't remember why. It was against a left-handed pitcher. I brought him in, solo shot. It wasn't a no-doubter, I don't think. I can't remember. But either way, home run. All right, Carson Kelly only played in 6 games, only had 21 at-bats because he's a platooning catcher with Stephen Vogt. Better fielding catcher, don't get me wrong, but his hitting against righties, power-wise, is about the same as Vogt, but the contact is a big dip for me, so I platoon them. So only had 21 at-bats, but in those 21 at-bats, he had 9 hits for a 429 average. Of those 9 hits, 6 of them were home runs. 10 RBIs, 7 runs scored. Good for an OPS of 1.762. That's filthy. Nick Ahmed. Nick Ahmed had 46 at-bats. In his 46 at-bats, 12 hits for a 261 average. So the average is a little low for Ahmed. 261. That's more than fine, like in reality. But because I'm playing on beginner and trying to just stat pad, 261 is a little bit on the lower end. That's one of the lower ones I've had. But he still did have 6 home runs, 7 RBIs, 9 runs scored. So the power numbers were there. If he wasn't hit, he only had 6 other hits that weren't home runs, and they were all singles. He didn't have a single double or triple. So if he wasn't hitting a home run, he was hitting a single, and that was it. But I can't complain. Tim LeCastro is the biggest shocker to me here. He had 52 at-bats. That's all good and well. He had 15 hits for a 288 average. I wasn't expecting much for him offensively, production-wise. He's my speed guy, and he's not a bad fielder over there at second base. But somehow, some way, still had 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 10 runs scored. I was hoping for at least 1 with him. Well, hell, we hit 3, and he ended up driving in 7 for that matter. And he stole 6 bases. Like, that's great. Stat padding and all that. OPS 892, so it is what it is. Stephen Vogt, my other platooning catcher, 39 at-bats. He had 17 hits for a 436 average. He went off in the postseason. And he did, when I did my regular run, when I did my actual non-beginner mode run with these guys, Stephen Vogt went off in the postseason for me. Not like this, obviously, but he went off. 9 home runs, 11 RBIs, 14 runs scored. Good for an OPS of 1.643. That's crazy. Even I wasn't expecting. I mean, I was hoping he would do well, but I wasn't expecting that well from him. David Peralta, I felt like Peralta was doing hotter than he was. Not that he had a bad run at all. 51 at-bats, 17 hits for a 333 average, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs, 14 runs scored, and a stolen base in there while we're at it. OPS above 1.077. I just felt like he was doing better for some reason. Christian Walker, on the other hand, I felt like wasn't doing anything special. Then he did this. In his 47 at-bats, he had 18 hits for a 383 average. 11 home runs, 17 RBIs, 11 runs scored, and a stolen base for him while we're at it. OPS of 1.536. Insane numbers for Christian Walker. In my regular run back in like March with these guys, Walker went off in the regular season at like a 40 or I think it was, yeah, he had a 40 home run season, which I absolutely was not expecting. And I'm mad at myself because as much as I enjoyed Christian Walker, part of me has been doing this thing where I like to bring old players back to their teams. So I didn't do it with this team. I wasn't able to. It all comes down to if the computer allows me to trade for these people. You know, if I get a trade opportunity for them, most times I take it. Um, for example, I brought in my regular run with the Indians. I haven't done their beginner run yet, but I brought Corey Kluber back to Cleveland. Um, just as an example. One thing I did not think of until after the trade deadline had already passed was I should bring Paul Goldschmidt back to this team. Because, boy, would that have been insane. And not to take anything, I don't want to take anything away from Christian Walker. I'm glad I didn't, because I will get to use Goldschmidt, obviously, when I play with the Cardinals. So I like to do it if it's, you know, if it's replacing some, like if it's, say, for example, say on the Mariners, they don't have anyone to DH. Like, their DH is just terrible. It's just jack shit. It's just, you know, it's a dude with like 30 contact, 20 power, you know, and nothing. I would bring Nelson Cruz in for that. Say Daniel Vogelbach was still in the Mariners and he's DHing. I would not bring in Nelson Cruz in that case. You know, for example, with the Red Sox, I kind of wish. So I just did my Red Sox beginner run a team or two ago, and Andrew Benintendi is apparently hurt. Yeah, he is actually. I just saw that. I missed that because I've just not been paying attention. The Sox are tanking. Benintendi's hurt, so I had to have Jose Peraza in left field. If I could have realized, if I thought of this ahead of time, I would have. Because Mookie Betts' new contract is not in this game. So if you look at Mookie Betts, this is the last year of his deal. So the Dodgers, I've never traded for him, but I've never tried to. And I'm talking about I've traded for Bryce Harper before. So yeah, like sometimes these games will make it crazy ass trades if you request them. So I should have requested Mookie Betts because I would have brought him back to Boston, put Verdugo on left, put Betts in right, stuff like that. So it would have been interesting to see if I got Goldschmidt back on this team. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad I didn't because I didn't want to replace Walker. Enough rambling. Eduardo Escobar. Escobar, I don't know. I felt like he was doing better than he was, but this is still great. 49 at bats. He had 19 hits for a 388 average. 9 home runs, 13 RBIs, 12 runs scored. Good for an OPS of 1.391. Great numbers all around. Cole Calhoun really went off in the regular season with his batting average. His power numbers were there too, but it was more of a batting average hitter. And then in the postseason, he started off white hot in the NLDS, and then he kind of cooled off a little bit, but still was doing amazing. Case in point, here was my second best player. In his 50 at bats, he had 23 hits for a 460 average, 10 home runs, 14 RBIs, 13 runs scored. By all intents and purposes, a historic run. Good for an OPS of 1.651, and I feel bad for him because he gets overshadowed by Ketel Marte, who has had, hands down, probably the best postseason run I've had with anyone on my beginner run yet. I know I did Texas, and Joey Gallo had more home runs, but I think Ketel had better stats overall. Ketel Marte in 49 at-bats, clearly World Series MVP, clearly postseason MVP. Well, maybe not World Series, but clearly postseason MVP. In 49 at-bats, Ketel Marte had 29 hits, a postseason record. Good for a 592 batting average. 12 home runs, 23 RBIs, 19 runs scored. Good for an OPS. Good for a slugging percentage of 1.531. Slugging. Good for an OPS of 2.116. 2.116. That makes me like kind of physically ill in the best way possible. Unfucking believable. Now comes the moment of truth. I'm going to tally up my home runs to see if we cracked 50, which I'm guessing for sure that we did. But I'm going to see, did we crack 75? That's going to be my new benchmark if 50 got blown away again. So 1 plus 6 plus 6. 3 for LeCastro. 9 for Vogue. 5 for Peralta. 11 for Walker. 9 for Escobar, so that's 50 right there. 10 more for Cole, and then 12 for Ketel. So 72. So I think I'm going to... 50 to me is a nice round even number. I think I might bump that up to 60 as much as my OCD doesn't want to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna set my benchmark to 60, and then before I look at the regular season stats, which is always pretty much my favorite part, we scored 113 runs. So the 100 runs scored benchmark seems to be good because I am getting there, but it's not necessarily easy. 13 runs when I'm playing on beginner, 13 runs isn't that big of a, I'm doing it by a lot. Like in real life, if you score 13 more runs than what you're trying to do, that's pretty good, especially across an 11 game stretch. But to me, on beginner, it's not the best. So, but it's a challenge that I can complete. That's what I like to see. So I'll start with the pitchers in the regular season. I'll do it by innings pitched. Starting with Taylor Clark, who I feel very bad for. He's 25 years old. B potential is overall is low, so it's only 69. But he was pretty good for me. Initially in the rotation, got bumped to the bullpen, and he had a solid showing. He just couldn't develop that much because he didn't have as many innings pitched as I would have liked him to have. But he was a clear hole in the rotation. His ERA was above 4 for a while, I believe. And either way, that overall being down below 70 really is a turnoff. So he had 38 appearances, only 7 starts though. He went 8-1 with 2 saves, 5 holds, 97 innings pitched. Struck out 95, not bad there. 3.80 ERA is okay, and a 1.20 WHIP is fine. 4 quality starts, including a complete game shutout, and a WAR that's positive, 0.8, so he matches his negative, the reciprocal of that. If I'm using the term right when it comes to positive, I don't know. And he also had a home run. He had a home run. 2 RBIs, so good for him. Worth the contract. We got him under team control until 2025, so he's all good. He's happy. All these guys here, usually the guys at the lower overall in the bullpen, they're going to be happy either way. They're not too fussy. Junior Guerra was an interesting one. At 35 years old with C potential and his overall being as low as it is, 72. Good velo and break though, which is all I really need. He was really good. He had 58 appearances out of the bullpen. He went 8-1, got 11 holds, 61 and a third innings pitched. Struck out 73. A 2.79 ERA is good, and a 1.14 WHIP is good. Good for a WAR 1.3. That was a good year. We got worth the money on his contract right now. 1 more year arbitration. He's ecstatic, so good for him. Stephon Crichton's the guy that's currently the closer. I don't know if that just means he's closing in real life or what, but he is not. He was not my closer. I never really used him as my closer. 28 years old with B potential, but his overall being where it is, he's not really going to go much higher. 71 overall, doesn't really have the velo and the break are, they're, he's just he was great. Don't get me wrong. I needed him to not be my closer. So a smallish sample size here, but not bad by any means. 34 appearances. He went 1-2, got 2 saves, a blown save, 8 holds. 32 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 37. He gave up got an ERA of 2.20, which is very good. WHIP of 1.35 could be a little bit lower, but not the worst. 0.6 WAR for the second straight year. Good for him. Worth the money on his deal. Team control till 2025. He's happy. Yada yada yada. I guarantee the same thing could be said for Matt Grace. Matt Grace, another interesting one here. 31 years old with D potential. Got his overall up to 72, but that's it. That's definitely got to be it for him. And he had a fantastic year. So 56 appearances for Matt Grace. Back-to-back World Series rings now, coming off of last year with Washington. 6 wins out of the bullpen, 4 saves, 3 blown saves, but no losses, 14 holds. 60 2/3 innings pitched is a career high. 38 hits is a career low, other than when he only pitched 17 innings. 11 runs, same deal. 5 home runs. That's 2 more than his career low, but he pitched 10 2/3 more innings, so I think it's acceptable. He got his walks down, his strikeouts up, 52 strikeouts, 1.63 ERA, and a 0.71 WHIP. Those are phenomenal numbers. 1.3 WAR, definitely worth every penny. 1 more year of arbitration. He's happy. Good for him. Yohan Lopez, in my regular run with this team back in the beginning of the year, went off out of the bullpen. He was a great bullpen arm, I believe, if I recall correctly. Good velo, decent break. 27 years old, B potential. He's at 73 overall now. That could get higher. He's probably going to get into the silvers. Don't see him going gold though. He had a good year actually. He had a terrible start to the year. His ERA was up there for a while, but it's nice to see that he turned it back around. He had 50 appearances, 2 wins, 5 losses, 3 saves, 4 blown saves, 23 holds, 54 and 2/3 innings pitched, he struck out 52. 3.13 ERA is more than okay. A 1.04 WHIP is very good. Good for a WAR of .5. I'm happy with that. 3 more years arbitration. He's worth every penny on his deal. So he's happy. I'm happy. Sean Doolittle picked him up in a trade, also going back-to-back with the World Series rings. I don't remember what his numbers were when I traded for him. I am not looking at these guys' hitting stats either. So I got to go do that quick, just in the off chance that any of them even had any at-bats. Okay, so Sean Doolittle. That's going to bother my OCD if I don't do that. Sean Doolittle, overall is down to 84, so he's gold at 33 years old, B potential. I think he's starting to hit his decline, though, so he must have been diamond at one point. I could see him sneaking in a diamond here and there for a little bit more, but overall he's going to start declining. That's how this game works. Right when you hit like 32, 33, it's just downhill from here, which I hate because that's very, I feel inaccurate for most people. Like, I feel like, for example, knock on wood, because God, I don't hope this happens, but I feel like Mike Trout, when he hits 32 or 33, is still going to be producing at a very elite level and is not going to decline. 35, 36. It's probably. I mean, don't get me wrong. We'll see some shifting in his gameplay, I'm sure, but he's still going to be Mike Trout. You look at guys right now that are this age. One that comes to mind, I believe, is JD Martinez. Is somewhere around this in the ballpark like that for his age. And you look at the numbers he's put up the last 2 years. He's not declining. I'll tell you that right now. This year, he's not doing so hot, but that this year's a wash for a lot of people, especially if you're on the Red Sox. You're trying to be the worst team in the league right now, so on top of the short season, the weird circumstances in which you prepared for the season, the long break for that matter too. You started up spring training for like a week or two, and then just stopped, and then you had like 3 weeks to have like mini camp in your home ballpark in July, before you start playing a 60-game season where there's no fans and some games are only 7 innings and all that shit. So yeah, with all that being said, Sean Doolittle was still great for me. I don't know what his numbers were when I traded for him, but overall his numbers between here and Washington were fucking amazing. 40 appearances for Doolittle, 1 win, 1 loss, 31 saves, mainly in Washington, I believe. 2 blown saves, 4 holds, 39 and 2/3 innings pitched. He only gave up 2 home runs all year. 42 strikeouts, a 1.36 ERA, 1 strikeout away for 500 on the career, which is a pretty nice benchmark for bullpen arms. 1.36 ERA, 0.88 WHIP. Those are very good numbers. Good for a WAR of 1.1. Worth the trade, worth the deal, worth his money, I should say. He's happy too, so maybe we can get him to come back. He's been around the block for about 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. Alex Young. 25. I wish Alex Young could have developed more. 25 years old, B potential. Not that he didn't develop good at all. I mean, he got his overall up to 79. He's silver, right on the doorstep of gold. At 25 years old, B potential. He's going to make it to gold, and at this rate, I see him making it to diamond for a little bit. Not going to be an elite pitcher, but an 85, 86 overall starter is always nice to see. Not the best year, but not the worst. I think he was my number 5 starter. So this is the guy that you would face on the last day of the rotation. Like tomorrow you get the ace. Today you get what is, with no disrespect intended, your number 5 starter is always usually your worst. Your ace, number 1, number 2. You go in order. Who's your best? Who you're not so best. Obviously he's still good enough to be in the rotation. And, as a number 5 guy to put up these numbers, that's pretty fucking amazing. That says something about your rotation. 34 starts for Alex Young. He went 18-5. He also hit a home run. He went 18-5. 204 and 1/3 innings pitched, which is a hell of a lot more than last year. I'm guessing he's not eligible for Rookie of the Year. I don't know what the requirement is for pitchers, but or what the cutoff is. But he struck out 265 batters. So that's really fucking good. A 3.96 ERA could be lower, but that's fine. 1.33 WHIP, same deal, could be lower, but it's fine. 22 quality starts, a complete game shutout, a 5.6 WAR. Got him under lock and key until 2025, so if I so please. Worth every penny on his deal. He's only satisfied right now, though. He's not happy about his money or the region, but there's nothing I can do about those. Ryan Presley traded from Houston. Again, I don't know what his numbers were when I traded for him, but 89 overall diamond, one of the better bullpen arms in the game. Great year as well. 47 between here and Houston. 47 appearances, 1 win, 1 loss. 28 saves, 4 blown saves, 11 holds, 42 and a third innings pitched. Struck out 50, 2.13 ERA, 0.99 WHIP. He gets his first ring. He was not with the Astros in 2017. Good for a WAR of .8. Worth the trade. Long-term rental. We got him for 1 more year. Worth every penny on that deal. He's ecstatic. The only thing he doesn't like is the region, which Arizona is somewhat close to Texas, so I'm surprised we're getting a sad face there. But everything else he's pretty damn happy about. Hector Rondon was a huge bright spot on the season for me out of the bullpen. Until initially, when I looked at that bullpen, I said, okay, I need a closer. Guys like Lopez, Crichton, and Rondon will be great setup guys, 7th inning, 8th inning, put them in the 9th when there's a 4-run lead, or, maybe you need someone in the 6th for a little bit, in a tight situation or whatever. Great velo, good break. 32 years old, see potential, 76 overall. He got to silver. So like I said, I was expecting to replace him, not get rid of him, but just bump him down out of the closers. I put him in the closer spot because to me he was better than Crichton. But still, I said, he's going to be my placeholder until I get someone. But by the time I got Doolittle and Presley, I was like, you know what? Doolittle and Presley are going to be my setup guys for Hector Rondon because he was amazing as well. 46 appearances, he went 2-0, 35 saves, 3 blown saves, 6 holds. He gets his second World Series ring actually too. He was a closer for the Cubs for a little bit there. He had 18 saves in Chicago in 2016. 44 innings pitched, struck out 50. A 1.84 ERA is very good, and WHIP of 0.89 is very, very good. WAR of .6, worth every penny on his deal. Last year on his deal, he's ecstatic, loves everything. The only thing he's meh about is the coaching, but he's not upset about it. So that's awesome, good for him. Caleb Smith, who Arizona traded for in real life a couple of weeks ago before I started this run from Miami. So he got his overall up to, he's B potential, 28 years old, got his overall up to 80, so he's gold. I don't think he'll get into the diamond. Probably like 83 is where he'll top out at. But he had a really good year. This is my number 4 starter, I believe. 29 starts. He went 20-2. 182 innings pitched even. 221 strikeouts. A 3.07 ERA. A 1.02 WHIP. All very good looking numbers. 22 quality starts. No complete games or shutouts, but that's fine. Good for a WAR 5.5. He also hit a home run. I didn't hit any home runs with my pitchers. So these are all the computer's doings. If I had made the deal, like if I traded for Caleb Smith, I would say it was worth it. Arizona probably going to pay off there for him. It's a long-term deal too. It's not like Arizona's trading for him for half a season or a rental or whatever. They put up the worth every penny this year. 2 more years of team arbitration, so we got him for 2 more years. So if we so please, he's satisfied though. He just doesn't like his contract. If he liked his money, his overall would actually probably crack into the diamond for a little bit. If he made what he wanted, he'd probably be at 81 or 2 overall. And if he made, like, say, $7 million and doubled what he wanted, he'd probably be overall up to 83, 84. And then by next year, he'd get into the diamond for a little bit. So a great year. Alek Manoah was a huge surprise to me. I traded for him, and I was iffy about it, but I said, you know what, fuck it. That's another thing. So if I get these guys, like, for example, I was doing a run with, what team was it? It might have been it was the Indians. I was doing my Indians run, and which came after my Mets run. Yoenis Cespedes was on the Mets, but in their farm system, and never got called up. Every single time I played against the Mets, he was in their lineup. When I started playing as the Mets, nowhere to be found, never got called up. So when the time came for me to play as I was doing my Indians run, and I was like, I kind of need an outfielder. His name came up. So I traded for him, because I missed out on that opportunity. I've done my Toronto run on beginner already. Alek Manoah never got called up. I don't think he's been called up yet in real life. I know Nate Pearson has been called up, and I've used him. But so I saw Manoah. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take him. I need a pitcher. He was already like 73 overall, which was higher than whoever it was I moved to the bullpen. And at that point, I don't know if Caleb Smith got called up yet or Alex Young or whatever. Maybe they hadn't developed. I don't know. Point is, it was a low risk, high reward move. He developed very well already. 22 years old, A potential. He's already up to 80 overall, so he's gold. He will absolutely go diamond. He will most likely go into the 90s and be an elite starter, at least overall wise, attribute wise. He had 4 RBIs, no home runs, and he had a great year. And that's the thing. He didn't play at all in Toronto before the trade. He was still in the minors. So when I traded for him, he got called right up. So all of this is what he did in Arizona. So I think he might win Rookie of the Year because he's definitely Rookie of the Year eligible. 25 starts, 14-3, 159 innings pitched. Jumped right into my number 3 spot in the rotation. Probably could have been a 4 guy, but whatever. 205 strikeouts, very good. 3.34 ERA, pretty good. 1.18 WHIP, pretty good. 16 quality starts, a complete game. 4.4 WAR in his rookie year. And that's the thing about this trade too, is not only was it worth it because we traded, potential prospects, guys that we don't know if they'll develop or not yet, for a guy who is already there now, and we've got him under team control until 2026. On a $95,000 contract right now for this year and next year. He's worth he's worth 10 times that much, At the very least. Hell, I'd say he's probably worth 20 times that much. He could probably be worth $9.5 million already. He's satisfied. He likes his role, but he hates his money. Doesn't like the region, but it is what it is. Luke Weaver, I didn't realize Luke Weaver was only 26. B potential, he got his overall up to 80, so he went gold. He might crack in a diamond for a year or two. He actually was really solid. A slow start, but he ended up turning it around. No home runs for him. 29 starts, he went 17-5, 182 innings pitched. Struck out 187, 3.31 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. League average on the WHIP. ERA is fine. 3.1 WAR, pretty good. He's worth it. 2 more years on the deal for that matter. He's satisfied, just doesn't like his money. And then there's this guy, Zach fucking Gallen. 24 years old, A potential, 91 overall already. So not only is he diamond, but he's amongst the elite. To me, the elite line is like 90, 91. Gallen's there, and at 24 years old, A potential, he's going to be 99 overall. His break is there. His velo is 70, but it's not bad. Like, he can get the ball up there at like 97, and if he improves on that, oh god, it's game over. Did he have any? Didn't do much hitting wise. He had 4 RBIs, but he's gonna win the Cy Young. There's no doubt in my mind. 33 starts. He'd probably win the MVP too. 33 starts. He went 23-3, 245 and a third innings pitched. He struck out 317 for an ERA of 2.24, a WHIP of 0.94. 28 quality starts, 11 complete games, 8 shutouts, good for a WAR of 8.4. Worth every penny for sure. He's worth 100 times that much. We got him under team control till 2025, and he's satisfied. So he is my ace, but it says rotation because the rotation changes in the postseason. So if you knock that out, I think he's still just satisfied. Maybe he's happy. I don't know. I don't think so. But either way, if he was getting a contract, which he deserves a huge extension right now for a lot more than $1.7 million a year, his overall would be up to like 94 because he'd be ecstatic. So an absolutely amazing year for Zach Gallen. Look for him in the Cy Young and MVP contention. Now, as for these guys, starting with the offense, Darton Varsho. Backup catcher who can also just go out and play the outfield. Not really. He was actually my third string catcher because I had 2 guys platooning. So on a day where maybe Vogue is in the lineup but he needs a day off, I'd still, in my world, I'd put Carson Kelly in before I put Varsho in. Can't really hit. A little bit of contact against righties, but can't really hit. Fielding's not all that great. Speed's not bad, especially for a catcher, but not bad though. In 261 at bats. 61 hits, 234 ER average, is a little bit low, but 12 home runs, 36 RBIs. We'll take that. OPS of 712. Good for a WAR of 0.1. I'll take it. Team control till 2025. I don't see him progressing too high. D potential, but at 65 overall and 23, I think he has a chance to get to like 70. He's happy though, so good for him. Jake Lamb, boy, how he has really fallen. I remember a couple of years back, his numbers, his contact and power, at least against righties, was pretty far up there. I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe even last year she was up there a little bit still. Fielding's not really all there. Speed, no. Hitting, not really. You know, if you're going to use him, you want to use him against a righty, but doesn't really make a difference. Plate discipline's there. That's about it. 29 years old, deep potential, 69 overall. Don't expect him to move really at all. Yeah, look at 2017. He had 30 home runs. What the hell happened to him since then? Has he been hurt? You know, his average wasn't anything too special, 248, but you know, just still 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. That's a great year. That's probably between him, Paul Goldschmidt, and JD Martinez. That's a huge reason why Arizona made the wild card game back in 2017. They won the wild card game in 2017. They made the NLDS. A large part why. And hell, it's 2016 at 29 home runs, 91 RBIs. So it started to look like Jake Lamb was good for, 30 home runs, maybe 100 RBIs a season. 250 average, but, it's not bad. And then he only had 106 at-bats for me. I did not like using him, and I didn't want to. 30 home runs. I did hit a home run with him at one point, though. So he had 3 home runs. At least one of those was mine. 15 RBIs, a 283 average. So backup third baseman / outfielder, 3.6 WAR. He's not worth that money to me. It's a low contract, and even then I feel like he's not worth it. But he's happy, so good for him. Oop, wrong button. John Jay. John Jay, I feel bad for. But at the same time, I kind of don't. 35 years old. He's been around the block for 10 years at least. D potential is overall is down to 58. That's one of the lowest overalls I've worked with now for position players. I've had bullpen arms lower, but his fielding is an atrocity. He has no speed. He has no power. He's got a little bit of contact to him, so you can hit for contact. Decent vision and clutch. Discipline's a little bit down, but still, his overall's down to 58. So he still got used a fair amount though, as my third or fourth outfielder. I'm sorry, fourth or fifth outfielder. Like I said, not terrible. 57 hits, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs, but a 328 average. Like in his at bats, that's not bad. I mean, dude's been around since 2010. You got a ring in 2011. He gets one now. OPS 829, good for a WAR of 0.8. Just under 1. That's fine. I guess he was worth $4 million. He's happy. Andy Young, interesting one to me here. 25 years old, deep potential. Overall is down to 67. He's very meh across the board. In that 45 to 50 range for really just about everything. 45 to 55. But he wasn't terrible, at least when it came to the home runs. 147 at bats. He only had 31 hits for a 2.11 average, but 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. If you had to pick a bright side, good for a WAR of -0.4. That's like my first negative WAR, I think. I've seen a couple of -0.0, so it's like -0.0002 or some bullshit. I have yet to see this, so that's kind of disappointing. Can't really make much less than that, so I guess he was worth it, but he's happy. Good for him. Now we get to the real guys here. And starting with Tim LeCastro, who was a huge, mammoth surprise for me. I didn't know he was going to be in the starting lineup. I can't tell you off the top of my head who's missing from this team, but he was always a bench guy, pinch runner for me in my initial run. Starling Marte. We got rid of Starling Marte in that trade for Caleb Smith. LeCastro, obviously, he's a speed guy. 98 speed, 98 stealing, and those are both actually went down one, and 91 base running aggressiveness. Fielding, he can play shortstop, left center, or right, and he's defaulted as a second baseman, but he was playing center while Ketel was playing second. And if you look at Ketel's fielding and LeCastro's fielding, Ketel being a natural center fielder, LeCastro being a natural second baseman, it makes sense to have them where LeCastro at second, because he's got decent fielding, arm accuracy, and reaction. His strength is down. It's only 37, but he's only ever got to throw a short distance to the bag at second to the shortstop, or to the bag at first to the first baseman. So having low arm strength is, for the most part, fine for a second baseman, not for a center fielder, especially when you're going to take a secondary position hit. So you lose, I think, 5 on that. His arm strength would go down to 35. That's after the +2. It would have gone down to 30 if that +2 didn't exist. Whereas Ketel, great fielder, is kind of wasting away at second base. Not that you put bad fielders at second base, but Ketel, who's a natural center fielder, taking a secondary position hit, all that. Enough rambling. LeCastro, 27 years old, B potential. He got his overall up to 81, so we went gold. And he actually has a chance of going diamond because look at the progression he had. His contact is meh, and his power is worse, don't get me wrong, but he had plus 12 to both powers. He went from 30 to 42 and from 33 to 45 for power against righties and lefties. His vision went up 12 as well, from 59 to 71. And wait till you see this. Out of my leadoff position, Tim LeCastro had 147 hits, 31 doubles, 8 triples, 27 home runs. That blows my mind. This guy, granted, he's never played a full season before, and he missed 24 games this year, which isn't too much necessarily, but this is a guy who's never played 100 games before. But in his 113 games before this, he had 1 home run. In 138 games this year, he had 27 home runs, 74 RBIs, 33 stolen bases, so he had a 2020 year, 259 average, but an 828 OPS, good for a WAR out there at second base of 4.9. He was worth every penny on that deal. 3 more years arbitration. He's happy, and so am I. D-Train, David Peralta. I'm really satisfied with him. 32 years old, B potential. He's up to 86 overall, so he made it into the Diamond Club. Don't expect him to make it to 90. His fielding is good, but his arm is not. But it's good because it's fine because he's a natural left fielder, so you can stick him in left where you usually put, you know, you can hide a defender. Not that you need to hide him, but you know you don't need as solid arm strength in left field as you do in center or right. Speed's not all that there either. But his hitting's not bad, especially against righties. He's got very good contact against, I mean top tier contact against righties with a little bit of power. And then against lefties, he managed to get that contact up to a point where it's acceptable. 66, I'd say about 65 is about the where things start to get pretty solid. And he does power up a little bit there, but that's fine. Vision, discipline, and clutch are all in decent enough places. He started off the year kind of just okay. Had a very great second half, though, and ended up putting up absolute MVP numbers. And well-rounded numbers for the most part, too. Look at this, 120 runs scored, 200 hits, 37 home runs, 103 RBIs, a 370 average. That's insane. An OPS of 1.100, 1.100, 1100. Good for a WAR in left field of 8.3. David Peralta. If it weren't for Zach Gallen and other people I haven't gotten to yet, which is insane that a guy with a 370 average, 200 hits, 37 home runs, and 100 RBIs plus isn't even going to be top 3 for MVP. That's what I love about these beginner runs. This is what I want to see. He's worth absolutely every penny on that deal. We got 2 more years of him, too. He's ecstatic. Loves everything going on here. Carson Kelly, my first of my 2 platooning catchers. I feel kind of bad for. I actually probably should have used him a little bit more, but we'll see. I might, in one of my runs, I might focus on developing people. I'm not sure, because he's the better of my catchers when it comes to fielding, and he's more rounded with hitting. Stephen Vogt I would have start against righties. Carson Kelly I would have start against lefties. But Carson Kelly still has at least some power against righties. Not so much contact, but power. And he's only 25 years old. B potential. He's 80 overall right now, so he's gold. He will go diamond at this rate. Just nothing too crazy. Probably like 86 overall type deal. And he had a fantastic year platooning behind the dish. 88 hits and 258 at-bats. He played less than half the games this year, though. 24 home runs, 75 RBIs, 341 average, OPS above 1. Good for WAR 5.3. Got him for 3 more years under arbitration. He's unhappy. Thought he'd be an everyday player, and he's platooning. And he doesn't like his contract. So he should be 82 overall right now. But he's not. Nick Ahmed. Nick Ahmed is 30 years old, B potential, 83 overall, so he's gold. I don't think he'll get to diamond because at 30 it's kind of hard to progress anymore, but he had a big year this year, so maybe he'll get there for like a little bit next year or the year after, just for a little bit. Great fielder with a little bit of speed to him, and his hitting really improved this year. He could hit for contact against righties already, 62 there. But the power went from 52 to 63, making him kind of a little bit of a hitting threat. And then against lefties, 65, 63, so we went from low 50s there to mid 60s there. Vision, discipline, and clutch are all in decent enough spots. Massachusetts guy, so I'm obviously going to like him. And he had a fucking whale of a year, too. Put up MVP numbers again. 157 hits, 39 home runs, 120 RBIs, 10 stolen bags, 298 average, and OPS above 1 at 1.009. Great fielder at that, and then his WAR was 8.8 over there at shortstop. Last year of his deal, though, worth every penny on that contract, and he's unhappy. Doesn't like the region or his contract. So Nick Ahmed might not be coming back next year. Stephen Vogt, my other platooning catcher, he's 35 years old, C potential. He's on the decline, down to 69 overall. Could play first, left, or right, but I'm not going to start him over Christian Walker, or David Peralta, or Cole Calhoun. But he's still got a little bit left in the tank here when it comes to righties. 60-62, I can work with that, especially if I'm good with your batting stance, which I am good with. So he had quite a good year as well. Between my two catchers, if you combine their numbers, that puts for a great catcher offensively. 121 hits, 19 home runs, 65 RBIs, a 293 average, OPS of 869, good for a WAR, 4.8. So I think my catcher's platooning catcher, I think obviously it doesn't work like this, but if you combine their WAR, I think it's like a little over 10. Let me check. 5.3 and 4.8 is, 10.1. So I'm going to check this actually. 19 and 24 is 43 home runs combined. 65 and 75 is 140 RBIs combined. 121 and 88 is 209 hits. So just pretty good. Eduardo Escobar, his progression always is interesting to me. 31 years old, B potential, gets up to 90 overall, so he goes diamond. He's very well rounded, but he's not like incredible at anything. Like, he is a good fielder, with a little tick of speed there. 57's not bad. And his hitting's well rounded against contact. It's flip flops. So because he's a switch hitter. So if you bring in a lefty, he'll hit more for contact. But if you bring in a righty, he'll hit a little bit more for power. But 66, 71, 70, 66. He's one contact versus lefty going down one away from having mirror images. And then vision, discipline, and clutch are all in good spots. So he's 90 overall. Diamond, kind of among the elite. It's kind of. Has a oh my fucking wow, MVP numbers. 188 hits, 35 doubles, 48 home runs, 156 RBIs, 339 average, a 1.124 OPS. Out there at third base, a WAR of 11.4. Oh my god. And again, probably not even going to finish top 3 for MVP. No, he might finish top 3. But he's not going to win the MVP. One more year in his deal, he's worth way more than that. He's ecstatic, though, other than his contract. We'll do Christian Walker next. I'll do Cole second to last. Christian Walker, 29 years old, C potential, 79 overall. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about his attributes. He can get it done against righties to an extent. Lefties, I was hoping for more progression there. Fielding's okay. He's a first baseman, Vision, discipline, and clutcher could use some work. He had an okay year. I was expecting more because he went off. He did better in my regular run than he did in this one. Not that he did bad here, but 172 hits, 28 home runs, 92 RBIs, 299 average, OPS of 885. Good for WAR at first base of 4.5. I mean, that's fine. I'm happy with that. 3 more years on the deal. Arbitration-wise, he's happy. So good for him. Cole Calhoun was a huge surprise to me. I was not expecting him to do the things he did. At 32 years old, CEO potential. His overall up to 82, so he went gold. Not going to go diamond, though. His fielding's not bad. And his hitting made strides against righties. And that's what got him to where he was. He got his contact against righties from 52 to 65, and his power against righties from 67 to 78 made him a very good threat against righties. And his 61 power against lefties is not terrible. Vision, discipline, clutch are all in good enough spots. And Cole Calhoun, MVP numbers, probably going to finish in the top 3. 189 hits, 51 home runs, 128 RBIs, 351 average, and OPS of 1.145. Good for a WAR in right field of 8.9. One more year in his contract worth every penny. He's ecstatic, loves everything. And then there's this guy, Ketel Marte, who, funny enough, isn't the highest overall on the team. Eduardo Escobar ended up with a higher overall than him. But Ketel Marte, at 26 years old, A potential. Versatile fielder, can play second, short, left, center, right. Great fielder, little bit of speed there. Great contact hitter with some solid pop. Vision's up there as well. Disciplined clutcher in okay spots. Made strides as well for the most part. Got his contact against righties up from 75 to 86. His contact against lefties was already higher than 95, so even though it went down 3, that's not a problem. Power against righties went from 61 to 71, so that was huge. And then against lefties, it went from 75 to 79. MVP numbers. Again, 200 hits for Ketel, 51 home runs, 124 RBIs, 338 batting average, a 1.105 OPS. Good for a WAR in center field of 10.7. So I had 2 guys with double-digit WARs. Ketel's got 2 more years on his deal, worth every penny right now. He's worth a hell of a lot more than that. He's just satisfied right now, too. If he was making more money and had anyone else that was from the Dominican Republic on the team, his overall would be the highest on the team. So now comes the even bigger moment of truth. I'm going to tally our home runs in the regular season. I got 2 text messages. What's this? Okay, let me pull up my calculator. And we will start from the bottom. Dalton Varsho. I want to press L2. That's how. 12. 3 for Lamb. 3 for Jay. 6 for Young. So everyone had at least 3. 27 for LeCastro is huge. 37 for Peralta. 24 for Carson Kelly. 39 for Nick Ahmed is huge. 19 for Stephen Vogt. I want to just... My goal, home runs wise, is 300, but obviously 307 is the record, so I want to get at least 308. 19 for Vogt. 48 for Escobar. 51 for Cole. 28 for Christian Walker. 51 for Ketel Marte. I didn't trade any hitters, and I don't think I sent anyone down. Let me do my pitchers as well really quick. Just double check everyone here. So we had 1 for Caleb Smith. Oops. 1 for Alex Young. And then I believe 1 for Taylor Clark. So 351. 351 for home runs. It's insane. I'm going to do RBIs really quick too. So 351 there. 36 for Varsho. 15 for Lamb. 22 for Jay. 20 for Young. 75 for Carson. 74 for Tim. 120 for Ahmed. The goal for this is to crack 1,000, which I'm sure I'll do. 65 for Vogue. 156 for Eduardo. 92 for Christian. 103 for Peralta. 124 for Ketel. 128 for Cole. Then let me get my pitchers in here, because they matter. 4, 4, 2, 5, 6, none. 2 more. So 1,053 RBIs. It's not runs scored, but it's all the same to me. So that's all that. I'm going with Ketel for postseason MVP, probably World Series MVP as well, or at least I'd imagine. I don't know if he'll get World Series MVP, but he's definitely going to get postseason. If he doesn't get World Series MVP, it's going to be someone that just had like a crazy average. I don't know. Cy Young is definitely Zach Gallen. He'll probably win the MVP as well, but I think that either Ketel or Escobar should get it. Maybe Peralta too, because a 370 fucking batting average. But yeah, let's take a look. Also, I want to see how much I outscored my opponents by in the postseason. 12-0, 4-0, 18-1, 11-0, 12-0, 12-3. So the most runs I gave up in a game was 3. And I don't think I gave up any of those 3. 1 run in that series, 3 runs in that series, 2 runs in that series. So 1, 2, 3. So we gave up 6 runs all postseason and scored over 100. Did Ketel have an RBI in every game? I wanted to check that. View box score. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive he had one in every game in the LDS, but I'm still gonna check it. So yeah, did I say say Escobar had, I thought it said Escobar had 9 for a second there. Oh, no, wait. No! No. Ooh, that scared me. Yep, he had 1 there. Long break. Yep. 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 And at this point, I think I caught on. Yep. But still, just a double check. Yep. Yep. He might not have been the only one that did this, but he's the only one I'm paying attention to for that matter. Yep. And yep. There it is. Nice. So awards, World Series MVP goes Ketel Marte, a 7.06 average, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, postseason as well. Well deserved. Silver Sluggers, I'm sure I'll get like a couple. Cole Calhoun gets 1, Ketel Marte gets 1. Nick Ahmed finished 2nd, and I kind of disagree with that. 6 more home runs and 11 more RBIs. It's kind of a bigger deal than I think, less than a double-digit average difference. Eduardo Escobar gets it at 3rd base. Nothing for the Castro, that's fine. Christian Walker doesn't finish top 3 at all, that's also fine. Nothing at catcher, I guess I get that. Nothing. Oh, Alex Young almost got it at pitcher, top 3. Gold Gloves, I'm not really expecting, maybe I'll get a Gold Glove, but I'm not really expecting it. Yeah, no Gold Gloves, that's fine. Hank Aaron Award goes to Cole Calhoun. I think Cole actually does end up in the MVP race more than Eduardo does. Maybe, I don't know. It's tough to tell. Rookie of the Year, Alek Manoah does get it over Alec Bohm. Alec with a K beats out Alec with a C. Bohm had a solid showing though, so good for him. But definitely well deserved. 200 plus strikeouts is always a huge feat in a rookie year. Sean Doolittle finished top 3 for reliever of the year. I'm a little surprised Hector Rondon didn't, but that is what it is. Batting title goes to David Peralta. I had the top 3 in batting average. Peralta, Cole, Eduardo, but 370, holy shit. Cy Young goes to Zach Gallen. I had the top 3 in Cy Young. Caleb Smith, I don't know. I feel like there's probably someone better than Caleb Smith out there, but and definitely, Alex Young does not deserve to be in the top 3, but Zach Gallen 100% deserves it. That's fine with me. He also takes home the MVP award. Eduardo Escobar and Cole Calhoun in the top 3 as well. This is one of those times where I think pitcher winning the MVP kind of deserves it. Obviously, there are some very huge batting years to combat with. Wow, Mike Trout. But, because, like, for example, I don't think Verlander in 2011 deserved it. I think Pedro in 2000 did. So, stuff like that. What's my next team? What is my next team? So, Arizona was down here, but I've already done Toronto. So, next is Kansas City. What time is it? Might get to start Kansas City tonight, not sure. I did already do them in beginner, but I am doing every team now that I figured out the hitting thing. So I am going to do them. After them, we'll go to Houston, then Colorado, then Milwaukee, since I've already done Miami. So everyone in the long shots for now is done, and then Toronto is done as well already. So that's nice. And then we can open up any packs that I got between the start and end of my Diamondbacks run, including... let me check my Team Affinity first. Up to 41% now. So I got, what, 78? 78, which means I got the Varsho card, the David Peralta face of the franchise, and the Team Affinities. I did not get the name plate, though. I'm just 2 points away, which I'm fine with not getting. I don't really care for that one. So anyways, yeah, I can open up any packs, which includes this. Alec Mills threw his first career no-hitter on September 13th. Redeem this pack for your exclusive 99 overall Alec Mills. Just like they did for Lucas Giolito with his no-hitter, you get a free Alec Mills 99 overall pitching card. It's funny because the live stream series card was given up at 72 overall. Now it's got a 99 top series. Obviously, his hits per 9 is going to be maxed out, but yeah, very, very good. Going to put him in my rotation for now. So I'll start with the 6 affinities. Brandon Morrow's a free agent. So I'm kind of surprised guys like Brandon Morrow, like, we didn't just sign, unless he has no interest in coming to Boston. But, like, he's a 79 overall in game. Like, he's got to be somewhat good. And we don't have jack shit in our bullpen, so... much less our rotation. Oops. Last affinity pack. Oops. Come on. There we go. Wouldn't let me go right. Okay, then I got 2 regular packs, which I always have a little bit better luck with. See, gold equipment. Shin guard, leg guard, whatever. Aaron Hicks. Okay, and then I've got this. Choose 1 Diamond Nostalgia player featured in previous editions of Diamond Dynasty. Alex Reyes, Gary Sanchez, Victor Robles, Charlie Morton, or Adalberto Mondesi. I believe I already have the Morton and Sanchez cards. But I can tell. It'll tell me. So I have Charlie Morton, I have Alex Reyes, and I have Gary Sanchez. So do I want Victor Robles or Adalberto Mondesi? I think I'm going to take Adalberto Mondesi because he could be my pinch runner because he's kind of a better hitter than Trey Turner. I don't know. Or Victor Robles. Robles could also be my pinch hitter, but... Or I mean my pinch runner. Because he's got good contact, but the power's not there. I'm going to go with Adalberto. Alright, Lord Jones will probably get one of those packs again anyways. I'm going to make some changes to my Diamond Dynasty quick. That'll include bumping Trey Turner. Do I want to bump Trey Turner out for that Mondesi card is the question. No, Trey Turner's actually a huge difference in the contact department. He's got him there, and then Adalberto only has him +7 in the power against lefties. Trey's got better vision and actually 1 higher speed, so okay, that is what it is there. No one's replacing Big Pop, I can tell you that much. Ketel Marte, I think I can replace now with Juan Soto. Dalton Varsho was my backup catcher, but I might put Machado in over Rendon now. I'm gonna try that. Doing better at catcher? No. Better at first base? No. This is actually a close one. +12 and +8 in the contact, but Bell's got him in the power and the vision. I think I'm gonna pop in Josh Bell for Freddie Freeman. Although Luke Voit is probably should get a bump as much as I don't like that. Probably not going to replace Acuna anytime soon. What about Joey Gallo? Yeah, you can take that there. And then JD. So, do I have a pinch hitter against lefties? Is that where... Soto could actually be in the lineup for Gallo. Might swap those two. Yeah. And I could actually probably bat Soto 3rd and Sandberg. No, I'll keep Sandberg there. Soto there. Sanchez there. Switch Sanchez and Machado. Man, I got a very formidable team here now. And then I'm going to bump out John Smoltz for Alec Mills. And actually, I've got Shane Bieber. I'm surprised he's only 90 overall. I kind of want to put Bieber in there somewhere. But I can't take DeGrom out. Jacob DeGrom Live Series is now my worst starting pitcher. That's so crazy to say because of how good he is. Part of me wants to put that Nolan Ryan card in, but I can't stand 45 control. So I'm good there. Okay. My team's overall is up to 92, rating mod of +157. We're looking good. Alright, I'm out of here. for now. Oh,